we do want to talk about our current box office draft standings. How do we want to do this? Do we just want to go back and forth like we do the top five?
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's start off with the fifth one, the one that freaking we had picked for each other. Basically, this was the pick that we wanted to throw each other off with, and only
Yes.
one of us was successful at it because the other person was not. So the pick that Dustin chose for me was Snow White, which obviously we all know crashed and burned at the box office. Disney just wanted it to be released so they could stop thinking about it, stop seeing their two main stars fighting over social media, over a political war or in a religious war, of course. So right now, my number five, Snow White, is sitting at 206 million, and it's not going anywhere. So Dustin
Yeah.
succeeded at what he was meant to do, and that is give me a dud.
Yes. And my number five, which you thought was going to be a dud, and I've seen it, you've seen it, it probably should have been a
It should
dud,
have been. It's so
but
bad.
was not, for whatever reason, the Minecraft movie. Thank you, sir. Which went
Yeah.
on to make almost $1 billion, $955 million, which, as you can see, is quite the difference between $206 million.
Yeah.
So our surprise landmine, hopefully it explodes kind of thing, certainly worked well for one way and not the other. But yeah, I think even with our box office draft and our number fives, that's a prime example of something that shouldn't work works and something that should work didn't.
Yeah.
Because you just never know.
It shows the evolution of the box office and the theater goer, I think.
Exactly.
Because you have classic Hollywood reiteration and you have brand new young general or Gen Alpha, whatever the fuck they're called
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, it was wild, man. It was freaking wild. The number four for me is Fantastic Four, which we know just came out last weekend, so it hasn't gained all of its money yet, but it's still doing pretty well. $241 million. As you see, is still past Snow White, which has ended its theatrical run, and Fantastic Four has only been in for a week. So I'm very hopeful on that one continuing moving forward. And that was the pick that I literally picked while on the show. I had one, and then you picked it. I think. I think you picked Wicked,
Yeah.
and then I was like, I gotta rethink. I gotta rethink. So I went with that one. So I'm still hopeful for that one to at least make $500 million. That's what I'm hopeful
Which
for.
is what I think it's going to end up doing. I think that we're going to be very close with our superhero movies. Good news for me is I've got two on my list that are still in theaters and still making decent money. They're hanging
Yeah.
in the top 5 or the top 10, and they're still making money, so they've got a little bit more legs to ride on. One of them would be my number 4, How to Train Your Dragon, which is currently at $608 million, over $500 million, doing really well. It's hanging on. It's still making more than $1 million a day. So I feel like it's got at least another couple weeks, maybe a month of legs left in it before it disappears. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. That's doing pretty well. What I like about it, is, and I think why I'm doing so well is the majority of my movies, while not massive, they're all making more
consistent.
than, they're consistently making more
Yeah.
than $500 million. So, which is, sometimes it's the turtle versus the rabbit, right? Sometimes the slow consistent outdoes the rabbit. So we're going to see. But anyway, my number 4, How to Train Your Dragon, holding strong, $608 million.
Yeah, man. Like I said, you're doing pretty well. Freaking, but I also picked a family-friendly kids movie that was my third pick, and I'm very happy that I did because these live-action remakes can be a little interesting
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So I went with the second highest-grossing movie of the year, Lilo and Stitch, which has grossed $1.02 billion. Now, honestly, when I picked this one, I didn't think it was going to make that kind of
Yeah,
money.
no,
Uh,
no.
I'm so super happy it did. To the point where now they're thinking about doing the Moana thing, where they're already green lighting a second live action one, which will be interesting because we haven't seen any of those yet. Of course, Mufasa had a second our Lion King had a second live action one, but it was a prequel, not a sequel.
Right, right.
So yeah, it's very interesting. That so far has been, I wouldn't say the biggest success of my draft or the biggest surprise of my drafts, but the biggest success of my draft so far. And I think will inevitably end up being in my second spot overall because I think my
Probably.
number two is probably going to make the most money. But yeah, my third pick, Lilo and Stitch, at $1.02 billion.
Yeah, yeah, and it's what's at currently, as of right now, it's what's keeping you in the game.
Oh yeah.
By a landslide. That's the what's keeping you hanging around is that film right now. My number three, again, came real close to $500 million, and in my opinion, this is just my opinion, it would have made $500 million at the box office, maybe a little over it, but it was hurried out to get onto Disney Plus, which in my opinion was a mistake because I think this thing had a little bit more legs left to it at the box office, but they were in a hurry to get it on Disney Plus. And I'm talking about Captain America: Brave New World, which finished its run at $415 million. Not too shabby, but if you hear what people say, it's a complete bust. What? I don't know. But Captain America: Brave New World, check it out. Apparently, a lot of people are watching it on Disney Plus. It's doing really well on Disney Plus. So I get why they wanted to push it on there. But I feel like this thing was unfortunately missed a little opportunity because I really do think it had another 3 weeks or a month left that it could have made money at the box office, and that's unfortunate. But anyway, Captain America: Brave New World, 415 million so far.
Completely agree, man. Completely agree. My second overall pick was Avatar: Fire and Ash. Of course, to be determined, but the last two films have made over $2 billion. So I felt very confident, and I feel very confident in this one. And James Cameron's out there talking about new projects, as I'm sure people have seen on my social media, me talking about it. He wants to create an animated series where it's like an anthology series following
Yeah.
different characters and different time periods of that planet of Pandora. So that's cool. But yeah, I think he's really trying to get more people interested and used to the Avatar franchise, I guess you could say. People are interested in it, but I think he's trying to get more people used to it. And as James Cameron does, he loves, filming with the highest grade technology. So these films are much more about going to see the effects, the visuals, the amazing all that is cinema as far as cinematography. But yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful for that one. Number two for me, Avatar: Fire and Ash.
There you go. My number two, also to be determined. It will be coming out also towards the end of the year. And I'm feeling really confident about this one as well. Wicked for Good. The first one made over 700 million, and that's before anybody really, unless you were a theater person, you really didn't know what it was. Now everybody knows what it is, and it was a massive success. So I think now with that built-in new audience, because I think it was a combination of maybe some theater people, and then you had Cynthia fans and you had Ariana fans, and that's why that first one kind of boomed bigger than what they probably thought it was going to do. But now you have that combination on top of all these new people that now know what it is. And we get to see Dorothy and the gang in this one more. So I think you're going to draw out the legit Wizard of Oz fans into this one as well. So I'm feeling really confident. I think this one could potentially make another $1 billion. Like I said, 700 plus million for the first one. It looks like it's on track. It's coming out around a holiday time frame. So yeah, I'm feeling really confident that this one could see $1 billion. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. Wicked for Good. I think it will end up being, if not my number one, my number two on the list by the time it's over, because but it does have the potential, in my opinion, to pass Minecraft, I think. So we'll see.
Yeah, completely agree. Completely agree. My number one pick that I did was Jurassic World Rebirth, which is currently sitting at $724 million. And I'm sure, like I've been saying, like Dominion really ruined the franchise. I went back and looked. The gross overall for the world is over $1 billion.
Yeah.
Like, so that last iteration fucked everybody up. They brought back the OG characters. Everybody thought it was going to be an amazing movie, and it was not. It was pretty freaking bad.
Yeah.
One of those where I was like, damn, I really kind of debated walking out of movies, which we never like to do.
No.
So yeah, that's why I had faith in the Jurassic World franchise with the reboot with Scarlett Johansson, of course, Mahershala Ali. But it is what it is. But I think they will continue with this new iteration and making more films.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens.
I mean,
and I
it's
definitely think Ali was supposed to die at the end of that, but
Yes.
they made a creative decision to leave
the
him alive.
studio made a creative decision.
Yeah.
The actors and the writers did not want that creative
Yeah.
decision, but that's the curse of, you might get the big money, but you're also at the beck and call of the studio. So
Exactly.
creative arts and I think though this one's still in the top 5, and it's overperforming internationally, which is good for you because
That makes sense,
which is why I think it's kind of still hanging. But yeah, I think it'll finish its run somewhere between where it's at right now and 800, 900 million. So not bad.
No.
My number one overperformed everybody's expectations. It was never expected to get where it's currently sitting as of today while we're recording this, but it is. Superman, over $500 million, $511 million, and that's with underperforming at the international box office. But I did see this week that it's starting to pick up at the international box office. What? So maybe people are like, oh, well, maybe this isn't so bad. Let's check it out, even though we fucking hate America. But I don't know. But this one's well overperforming, and I'm feeling really comfortable with. I like where it's headed. I think it's going to finish its run, I don't know, 600 million maybe just under 600 million, which is huge for this because it wasn't even expected to get anywhere close to that.
Isn't it the highest gross in Superman now?
Solo film of all time, yeah. Which, I'm thrilled for. It's a solid reboot. It's a solid, okay, Superman's back. He's the Superman everybody apparently wants to see. So, yeah, I'm real happy with the performance of this one. My number one, Superman. It's still rocking and rolling. It's been number 1 or number 2 for the last month and a half. So it's killing it. So yeah, man, my number one, Superman. So where does that leave us? If you've been tallying, did you have the calculators out? You're okay. Well, your incubus, whatever. What is it? What is it? Well, it's this much ahead right now. Me by $315,000. Where I think, and Logan and I have been talking about this off the air. Where I think that leaves us is Avatar for Logan is going to have to make up that $300,000 difference and overperform by at least 200 or 300,000 to squeak out the win. Because I think Wicked is going to overperform what people are thinking it's going to do. So it's going to be really tight. So he's got to, where I think Avatar will probably do better than Wicked by a little bit, maybe a big amount, I don't know. But I do think it'll make more money than Wicked. But the balancing is you have to overcome the nearly $500 million that you're behind before we can start climbing on top of whatever Avatar would make over Wicked. So either way, this has been really fun, and I think it's going to be really close. I think we're going to finish within that range. Somewhere between the $200,000, $300,000 range will be the difference between who wins and who loses in the end, I think, which is really good. It just says we know a lot about the box office and a lot about movies because we've been predicting pretty well. I love it, man. I think, that we build it as the first annual, and I do think this is something we should just continue because this was a lot of fun, and it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, because, not only do I still have Avatar Fire and Ash coming out, but I still have multiple weeks with Fantastic Four as well. So that's definitely going to help out a lot. Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully. It is seeing big dips, but,
Yeah, we both looked it up. I think Wicked, the original one, was 700 million.
Yes.
And we definitely both think that Wicked will probably do more than that, probably even pass the $1 billion mark because
Probably.
I mean that fandom, and you're going to see more of Dorothy in the original Wizard of Oz center, our storyline center in this film, which I do think will bring out an older audience that maybe the original Wicked did not have.
Right, right.
So that will be very interesting. But yeah, it is fun, man. It's been really freaking cool. It's really Minecraft's fault. Fucking
I
Minecraft. Like
know.
it is really like
But
it didn't even have it could have still been a box office success. It just had to be a little less of a success.
and
Like like $300 million less of a
I'm
success.
telling you, man, everybody go back and watch that show where we make these picks. And I'm convinced, I'm telling you, it was the creepy ass dwarfs. I said, I was saddling you with that film because I thought people would be terrified by those dwarfs and kids would not like it, which is obviously what Disney was banking on.
Yeah.
There was the little bit of controversial pro-Israel, non-pro-Israel, whatever with Rachel and Gal, but
Yeah.
I don't think that was it. I think it was creepy for kids, and
Yeah.
it just didn't translate to the kid audience, and oops.
Yeah. I will say though, I love how colorful this year of
Yeah,
cinema has
yeah.
been. We've seen so much color, which is what we need right now in the world that is so dark. So Hollywood has been paying attention and they've seen it. So I love it. I love the
So
color.